In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use your Kraft home testing kit so that you can carry out your tests with complete confidence. To start, make sure you have all the equipment ready. You will need the black shooting box, lancets for the finger prick, alcohol wipes, pipettes, glucose monitor, glucose strips, glucose solution, lateral flow cassette, insulin buffer liquid, and finally the app ready for recording the data and timings. Our first test will be to measure our fasting glucose and then fasting insulin measurements. Before you start the first blood draw, take one of the glucose strips and place in the top of the glucose monitor. Place down, ready for after the first blood draw. Make sure your hands are nice and warm, either using a hot water bottle or a warm drink warming your hands on the mug. Prepare the lancet by twisting the plastic covering and then prepare a finger for the lancet by wiping with an alcohol wipe. Place lancet on selected finger and press button on the top of the lancet to fire the needle for the blood draw. Wipe away the first blood drawn and then pick up the glucose monitor with inserted strip to take your fasting glucose level. Add glucose measurement to the app and make sure the units are in your country's conversion units, either millimoles per litre or milligrams per deciliter. Then squeeze the finger to create a good blood draw and use the pipette holding horizontally to draw the blood to the line on the pipette. Once the blood reaches the line, you are ready to use the lateral flow cassette. Squeeze the blood from the pipette into the well of the lateral flow cassette and add 4 drops of the insulin assay into the well. Place the timer on your phone to 15 minutes. Then once the 15 minutes is up, we can then take the first assessment of insulin with your phone and the shooting box via the metabolic app. Place your phone camera on top of the shooting box, lining up so the calibration strip and the insulin strip can be seen. Click Measure Strip and you will have your first insulin measurement in a few seconds. Click Show Visualization and you will be taken to your dashboard to view your first data points on your Kraft curve. You will then drink your 75 grams of glucose solution and repeat the glucose and insulin assessments at these time points: 40 minutes, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, and finally 4 hours. Remember, you need to wait 15 minutes after adding the insulin buffer before taking the insulin assessment. The app will make sure the insulin and glucose measurements align even though taken 15 minutes apart. You will now have a beautiful Kraft curve and know whether you are insulin sensitive and you are doing great, or insulin resistant and you have some work to do to return your body to metabolic health. Congratulations on learning the steps to measure your insulin Kraft test, and we encourage you to reach out if you have any further queries. Welcome to the Metabolic Dashboard. Finding your way around your dashboard. First, we have the organization name at the top, and next to it, we have the person from the organization that is logged in. Here we have a full Kraft curve that has been completed. We have in yellow the glucose responses, and in green we have the insulin responses. If we hover over each one, we can find out the scores of each assessment from the first to the second, the third, fourth, fifth. Along the bottom, we have the last score and the max score, and we can add any annotations along our time period as well. Click on the graph, which will pop up Add Annotation. Click on Add Annotation. Provide a tag
for example, hyperinsulin, and add a description above 6, for example. This could also be when the glucose was taken, so you can add 75 grams glucose at the time point that it was taken. Press save and it will keep the annotation on the graph at the time point. You can make any annotation along the graph as you wish. If we want to view just the one graph, we can go to the tab here, click view, and that will take us to that one graph to take a closer look. If we want to edit an annotation, we can go to the edit tab here and we can edit our description or edit our tags. Again, we can view our insulin measures, the last and the max for insulin, and the same for glucose. Press escape to come back to the full dashboard, and then we can choose the same for any of our other graphs. So we can go to view it on its own, and again using the same analysis to view. This is quite a nice one because it gives you your green, amber and red zones to identify what is a high result across the time points. As we scroll down the dashboard, what we can do to take a closer look is highlight the graph just to a time point, and then we can view the graph just in that time point to take any of the additional time out from the graph view. We also have our dial meter, and also we have the potential of exporting the data onto a CSV file, which will go to an Excel spreadsheet. Thank you for watching our metabolic dashboard explanation.
Testing your lipid profile. Take one of the Lipid Pro testing strips and insert and turn on the Lipid Pro monitor. Prepare the finger for the blood draw. Take an alcohol wipe, wipe the finger, and then use the lancet to draw the blood. Using the 3-prong tool, make sure that each tip is full with blood before adding to the Lipid Pro strip. Once the blood is added to the 3 wells, hold until each assessment appears on the screen, giving you your readings for your lipid profile. Using the Metabolic app, you are now able to input your data for total cholesterol, HDL, LDL, and triglycerides.